mind.
In the bottom left-hand corner of Dusk Towers, it is the yellow Protoss player, the one, the only.
Team Life Fang, Arthur.
And his opponent to the top right-hand corner from Frenetic Array, it is the orange Terran player.
Frenetic Array, Seither.
Alright. I haven't seen that much of Seither, but we did cast him a few times. I think it was during DreamHack. Yet Arthur, as we've mentioned before, plays a lot on the online tournaments and is especially active on the Southeast Asian scene and server. He does stuff all the time. I guess that's now just Asia, or did they change it? They changed the names of the servers around. We don't have Korea anymore. We just have Asia.
Yeah, we have the Asia server, and within the Asia server, it's like split up into pieces.
Oh, is it really?
I do think, yeah. Well, the U.S. is split up into pieces too. You've got U.S. East, West, and Central. So now with the ability for players to individually select the server that they want to queue up for, they can have a
nice
lot less
block.
lag, which is nice.
Arthur blocks a reactor that Seither was attempting to make with this probe. That is beautiful. It will force Seither into a Reaper fast expand. He may have wanted to go double Marine before that, but he will be unable to at this moment. What do we have on
He's
for
going to build a
Arthur's
pylon.
side?
Wow.
I
Very
like
adorable play there. And he's going to go ahead and get that expansion on time. Right on time. And double barracks already. Interesting. Very interesting. Like, are we casting rough again? No, it's Seither. Look, he's taking a page out of his book. The scout is pretty far away now, though, so he should not see this coming.
It'll also delay this Reaper, as you gotta see. I mean, potentially, with forcing out a Reaper fast expand from your opponent, they can get the Reaper to your side of the map and do damage, but now it's gotta stay home with this pylon, and you don't know when that Mothership Core is coming out, and it can get deadly if that pylon doesn't go down quickly. So we'll be DPS down, hopefully quick enough with the Mama Cores heading out across the map, and an Adept at the same time. This could go terribly wrong for Seither if he's not careful.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to respect the power of the pylon. You can't just be like, oh, I'll leave that pylon, I'll probably be okay. That pylon is the best unit in the game. It's the strongest unit in the whole arsenal of Protoss. You can't mess around with that at all.
Man.
Oh no,
it's only, oh my God,
he's gotta get to that bunker. Oh.
Wait, it's gonna be a
risky
snipe.
play. Oh, just barely gets in. Reapers are a 3-hit right now. Oh, pylon's at the bottom of the ramp. The pylon has a higher range than the bunker. So while this bunker can hit the pylon here at the bottom section, it will not be able to hit the pylon in the central area. That's 7 range versus 6 range. And that's gonna be 3 hits on the bunker there. Nice positioning with this Mothership Core as well.
Seither's being made to pay right here. The Mothership Core is a little bit farther range than that bunker, cannot hit it, and the SCVs are pulled, having to heal it. At least it's an early boost for Arthur economically, which I really like. He's got to be careful of how to push out from Seither, but with pretty much infinite photon overcharge at this point, that bunker, you're not going to see any Marines leave it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not poking at these SCVs with the Adept from the low ground, but that's, you know, there are other things to be done in the world of Arthur, and he is all about them. And we do have a little bit of scout coming in. Nice presence of mind here from Seither. While being contained here, he has that worker out on the map and managed to get in and see just exactly what he's dealing with. How all in is Arthur at this moment in time. And he's not very all in. You know, this is sort of a light pressure. He hasn't committed a whole lot to this. Oh, gonna let the Adept in, though. And the Adept is going to get a nice scout before jumping out of there, keeping everything alive.
Cyclone is the one thing for Seither that can defend this and not have to worry about that photon overcharge. And overall, Seither, in the early game TVP, you're playing very defensive, and it's going to work for him well this game because we do have a Warp Prism and Resonating Glaives coming out for Arthur. But oh, he's moving out the Cyclone and all of his Marines. He accumulated so many for so long, being prepared for a big all-in of sorts. 14 Marines are moving out across the map, and
that pylon
Arthur,
in the main of Arthur right now is looking scary. Needs some backup. There it is. It's pylon number 2.
Got to be
it
careful
reaches
too.
this building all the way on the right. Yeah, Mothership Core pretty far out over here. and not in the groovy 60s way. Far out is in the dangerous, you're going to get killed by a cyclone way, which is not the preferable way to be far out.
Warp Prism moving on the left side of the map. Maybe it can do some drops behind this bio, but the bio's going to push up.
Sees exactly what's going on. A little bit of premature move over here with the pylon overcharge, but he's trying to be as safe as possible. Really, this upgrade for the Adepts coming through, that's going to be a huge difference against these, like, largely Marine Force from Frenetics Array Seither.
Oh man, here he goes. A large amount of Marines, 14 in total, trying to push up, but there's no stim, no combat shield, nothing to allow them to get up that ramp quickly. Yet now we have a counterattack, and it's 2 Adepts, a Sentry. I'd love to see a force field possibly, but really at this point, it's all coming in. It's all in the main. SCVs are evacuated as quickly as they can possibly be. Resonating Glaive is only a second left, and easily these Adepts can start shredding through any bio. It forces the entire army to pull back, and for now, I mean, they're not in the Cyclone. The Cyclone's got to be careful. It's going to be sniped.
Oh my God, talk about a force field. That was fantastic. Cyclone, really the only tool Terran has to deal with this mass Adept play, and it would have been dealt with so much easier had he just had a couple more of them for the DPS. It is going to get targeted down, chased down right here. Maybe he'll get the repair up. We'll see. A lot of units in place over here. This is a bloodbath, but who will come out on top? They say Adepts are good. Let's take a look and see just how good they are. Turns out, pretty good, increasing your APM for Arthur in the Arthur StarCraft League. Working out quite nicely for him here.
Normally, that Cyclone, its entire job is to snipe the Warp Prism, but now that the Warp Prism is not sniped, it's Adept after Adept after Adept. 27 SCVs have gone down, and there's Marines out, but only Marines and Adepts with Resonating Glaives, a total of 14. They slaughter them. GG. Little Shipyard. In the top right-hand corner, we have the Gold Protoss player currently up 1-0. It is
Team Light Fang, Arthur.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, down 0-1, but he's hoping to even this best-of-3 matchup to 1-1. It is the Orange Terran, none other than
Frenetic Array, Seither.
And Seither really wanting to even it up. He's got a Proxy Rax on the way.
Based on that positioning, I think we're going to see some Reapers, Drenok. And Reapers in this matchup a little bit weaker than the other 2 matchups because you have the Adept that 3 shots the Reaper just trades so well with it, very difficult. And of course, the Pylon Overcharge is very strong at pushing it away. And one of the things that you can do to make up for that is proxy the Reaper so it gets in before those tools are in place. Scout is going to come off very nice from Arthur here, being very safe, making sure he scouts, not cutting any corners here.
Trying to see if it's CC first, and I love that this probe arrived at Seither's base at the same time when the probe of Arthur went for the natural. They were both lining up, okay, do I take my natural, do I not? And he will end up taking his natural, and he's still got to be careful. Just by the way, even with Photon Overcharge, because of the position of the racks and how the Reaper is going to end up in the main base, there's not going to really be a pylon. You can even see Arthur trying to prepare for that. He knows, okay, a little bit of a wonky position. I need a pylon ready, but will the Mama Core be in time, Jack Attack?
Well, it looks like this first Reaper, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, getting this proxy does allow the Reaper to get in before the tools are in place, before the Adept and the Mothership Core in place. Look, he's building a Zealot right now.
Here we go.
You know, you're not going to have a whole lot of time to deal with. The Mothership Core is on the way, but he'll be able to get a small window of free damage here.
One kill picked up. Mothership Core is being chronoed as quickly as it can. The probe's almost getting the Reaper in a nice position, but almost all the probes are not biting in the situation.
Nice target
maybe
firing.
Even a 4th kill will be able to be taken. You see the Mothership Core already queued up to focus down that Reaper, and the Reaper, oh, is going to take an angle. Maybe it's not going to be able to get away with the Mothership Core. The beautiful boxing in. Takes him out. In the end, he gets 3 kills in. A little bit of delayed mining time, but another Reaper is on the way, and the Rax is being moved to make a starport. Ooh, Proxy Liberator or Banshee, that's going to be scary. That's going to be real scary, especially when Arthur has his pylons at the front, not the back, not prepared to defend a drop.
Yeah, that's a really good point. He is moving his pylons as a result of this attack, and there is nothing protecting the middle lines in terms of pylons right now. So really cool 1-2 punch setup for Seither here. If Arthur's, you know, got a handle on his building placement, he should have his next couple of pylons to cover those blank areas, but You never know, and we do have a pylon coming down right now, but that is nowhere near his base. That pylon is at the base of Seither.
Man, we got a sprinting race going down right here. Adept and Reaper desperately trying to get home as quickly as they can. And also just to point out, I love that the factory is made back at home and not also proxied, because you need the Cyclone. Cyclone is going to be out, yet the Mothership Core is dancing onto this side of the bottom left map. So far, Seither hasn't queued up anything in that starport, so he has to be really careful.
Banshee. He did build a tech lab.
Well, that would be really, really strong, especially if he got float into
proxy,
that.
Raven would be pretty
Liberator.
Weird.
That would be pretty weird, but I'd be down. I'd definitely be down. And the Cyclone gets a lock onto that Mothership Core, but I'm not sure if it's going to get enough range. Maybe we'll be able to. So close. And another photon overcharge goes down, though.
Sometimes, yeah, that with that unit, with the Cyclone, sometimes just barely. It gets that last hit off that you don't think it's going to get.
Yeah, it's just really weird.
Yeah.
Now, SCV's healing it, though, and a second Cyclone is out. Scyther, like I was saying, I love that the factory is made back at home and not proxied.
Yep, is going for that Liberator there at the starport. In the meantime, we do have a Warp Prism coming out. Let's take a look at the defenses of Arthur as this Liberator is going to be moving in pretty soon. Pylon placement, he's got one back there pretty well, putting the gateways off to the side. Bit of a pocket over here that Seither should be able to get some damage in.
I'd almost recommend the Mothership Core teleport home. Of course, it's only 50 energy. Could have got at least one photon overcharge off, but as you mentioned, Jack Attack, there was a beautiful pocket, yet the Liberator's going to realize that, hey, you got one right there, and go to the undefended natural base.
Right now.
You got a Stalker, but it's not going to be enough. Stay away.
Oh, man, wow, this is so much lost mining time here. Yeah, a full pylon's worth of lost mining time. That's going to be very unfortunate. One Stalker versus one Liberator. Guess who wins? It's the one that does a massive amount of damage in one shot, the Liberator. In the meantime, back at home, during this whole dance, Seither is beginning to get his economy up. He's building another CC and cranking out another Liberator and some more.
Oh, the Stalker finds
nice
a sweet
angle.
spot.
Look at that.
Beautiful. It's going to force the Liberator to reposition, actually even just get on out of there, retreat back into the bottom right, but another Liberator is heading into the main with the Mothership Core slightly out of position and may be able to get a few more kills. In total, Seither has picked up 9 kills and a lot of lost mining time. Overall, he's got a nice economic advantage and hasn't lost a ton for it, to be honest.
Yep, nicely done over here. Gonna skirt the edge of that vision. Oh, I don't know if he's gonna be able to do this. Man, super close over there. In the meantime, we do have the Liberator on the other side. I love this harass. He's really got to keep it safe from those Stalkers. Going back and forth here. Just fantastic. Lost mining time. Like, the kills aren't necessary. He's got 9 kills, but they aren't even as necessary as the fact that he can't mine so much. He's pulling the workers so often. Tons
This
of
is when it gets really hard. The Liberator's gonna be able to get away, but that's the thing. You have to commit the Liberator. It's not just a Banshee who can hang out in a position. You have to commit the Liberator to a position for a few seconds. Now we see some beautiful dancing.
A little bit too
it's gonna
close.
go down in the end. But off the back of this, for our Scyther in the bottom left, we have a very strong economy. Took his natural. He's got enough Cyclones, plus 1/1 on the way. He's gonna take a little advantage, span into a gigantic advantage into the late game.
Yep, and it's a pretty large investment, right? 2 Liberators, but when you think about the amount
and the Immortals, oh, he could hit the front so easy. That'd be beautiful. The front ramp of Arthur just is no anti-air, and there they are coming on in, realizing it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those Liberators. 40 hit points. Stalkers can jump in at any moment in time. We do see Blink on the way, but even without Blink, those Stalkers can be deadly. So that's why we see Seither being very careful and staying towards the areas where he's safe to commit, or as safe as he thinks to commit, those Liberators. And we do have the beginning of the counter push from Arthur here. Quite a few forces, and these production tabs are quite hilarious. Blink in a pylon.
Everything. Yeah, everything in the Terran arsenal is coming out for Seither. He still needs about a minute for that to finish, yet Arthur needs the same for Blink to be done, and he's also got an Observer and a Warp Prism, so easily has a lot of high ground vision to get up onto his opponent. Already Seither is preparing for the defense. You can see he snipes the Observer, beautiful, but he's got Bio in the main. Cyclone set up perfectly. Arthur's not going to be able to find a kind of interesting, cheesy way into the main. He has to go directly up the ramp to make this happen. Barely he's not going to be into that Liberator, but we'll see if Seither purely has enough. It's 56 army supply to 46 of Seither. Arthur has the lead, but can he do this?
Getting killed at Arthur's base. Another Liberator has moved into position, taking out 8 workers. Warping in on the high ground here, and we have a shade in. This is the move.
Big concave is made by Arthur with that warp, and we'll see actually how Seither is able to defend 2 Cyclones. A lot of micro can do it, but one already goes down. And, I mean, SCVs, something needs to be pulled to start shutting this down. The 3 Immortals are just wrecking this force, and with the micro of Arthur pushing and blinking back those Immortals is really, really hard for Seither to deal with. Seither is barely getting on by, but will the kills on the other side of the map be enough for him to lose and pull all these SCVs?
All right, he's got Widowmine starting to burrow. He's got a couple Liberators getting set up as well. Not a whole lot of Stalkers, but this is going to come at the cost of a ridiculous economy hit. 36 workers already dead, 37. It's almost an unbelievable number. It makes me think there's a glitch in the programming or something that shows 41 dead workers, but there they are. Down to 24 workers is Seither, and even more coming back here, doing some damage. Yeah, that attack hit right before 1-1 finished, and during Stim and Combat Shields finishing. Whoa!
Combat Shields did finish, but Stim was canceled overall. Now another drop in the main base. There is 3 CC, but the Marauders are in a very wonky position. Stuck behind these CCs, the Adepts, you're just focusing down, not caring about anything else. And the one bright side for Seither is the entire time he was denying mining on the other side of the map, yet he only got a couple kills. He didn't stunt the economy into the late game, into the long game, but I don't know, man. The situation where is the Mule strong enough, Jag Attack? Is the Mule strong enough?
For the time being, the Mule is keeping him in this game mineral-wise, but gas-wise, he is beginning to fall down just a bit. And he really needs to take this 3rd base, but it's, you know, Arthur's making it really hard for him. Keep in mind, though, that while his worker count is not so high, he has a superior army at this point in time. So being able to take this position at the 3rd is going to be very strong, and Arthur, thinking he's got an advantage moving out on the map right now. This warping is going to help, but it's going to be pretty close. Oh no!
At the same time, Liberators got to be careful. Liberators are pulled back. There's a lot of Stalkers right here, so they have to be incredibly careful. But now that Seither is in the 3rd base, he's got a much easier time making a big concave to push this army back. But Arthur, he's not going the direct route. He says, if I can slip behind you, I can send my Adepts. I can blink up into the main. I have 1 Zealot. Everything else is going to go into the main. So Seither has to split up his army to defend this, but he's been able to hold a 3rd CC, and at the same time, there's a drop heading towards the natural base of Arthur, and it's double Widowmine. He's going to throw him down and then not worry about it for a little while.
Yep, it was a nice attempt there. We don't have any cannon, so no detection, so that's going to be frustrating for a little while here. Adept's going to go ahead and scout in, and here we go. Arthur's making the move. Blinks into the main, drops the Immortals.
The bio is not in that concave that Seither desperately needs. And yeah, Stim is going to be... Oh, Stim not quite sniped at least yet. Beautiful Widowmine play. The Stalkers do have to blink out, but the Immortals are able to survive at all the end of that, and Arthur is heading towards the natural base. Seither has a lot of forces, but they can't get the ideal... They can't get the ideal concave around.
Nice! GG! Excellently done. For an arm wrestling contest to decide
a feat of strength instead of mind, or I guess it's strength of mind and strength of strength. But here we are, guys. Game 3 of a best of 3 on Ruins of Ceres. That means it's currently 1-1. The score is even. In the bottom left-hand corner, it is the yellow Protoss player.
Team Light Fang, Arthur.
And his opponent in the top right-hand corner, able to even it up last game with some phenomenal Liberator and Reaper plays. It is the Orange Terran player representing Australia. It's...
Phoretic Race, Seither.
Oh yeah. And Seither opens up pretty darn normally for Ruins of Ceres. Of course, it's a big map, so you do have the potential to go into a macro game. But you also have Ruins of Ceres. This is good blink map. What does Arthur think about that? I wouldn't be too surprised.
He might think, blink? He just might.
My guns are not too big, but I can blink really rapidly.
Yes. I mean, he might not be fully committed, so he might just go wink, but I would suggest a full-on commitment to blink.
By the way, I love the chat. Is Drenok a successful businessman or a rich boy? I'm neither of those. I'm gonna throw that out there.
If you're not rich, you're not a boy, you're not successful, and you're not a business person.
None of those
the four attributes ascribed to you were correct.
No. Very early Marine
Barnacle
from Seither.
man!
I like the Marine decision from Seither, and that will allow him to push back this probe early on. And overall, he's also got a quick factory because of that. And I wonder if he's going to take a quick CC off the back of this. But for now, the probe goes to the bottom right, and the Marine's going to scout it in the middle. This is going to be phenomenal for Oh, no!
Wait, really?
No!
Did that just happen? Did that really just happen? I hope you're checking the vision right now because this is so much of the drama. Every of the dramas just happened.
10 drama points awarded to Marine.
Yeah, check it out. We got the proxy robo. I'm guessing for this positioning, we're looking at a very fast warp prism adept all in.
This is one of those times where the coach says, you know what, Seither, can't help you with that one. Yes, you can scout deeper, but you kind of checked off all the lists, Seither. Okay, is this a cheesy Protoss? Yes. Is there a proxy? No. I'm good. Okay, pull back the Marines. At least he has a Cyclone, but the main base of Seither and a Ruins of Ceres is big. There's a lot of opportunity for a Warp Prism to sneak by those Cyclones. Ooh, nice
cool
pick.
In this series, we get to see the bunker on the low ground and the reason why you build a bunker on the low ground all in the same series. So this is to prevent that really annoying pylon rush that has happened in the past. And a lot of Terrans just do this straight up. They're like, oh yeah, you know, this is a possibility. Just bunker on the low ground. Let's just totally shut that down because I don't want to deal with it. And Liberator on the way rallied inward.
Seither with the same kind of factory starport play in the majority of these games. Very safe Terran, ready to defend Warp Prism, harass Liberator, and Cyclone. And yeah, with putting it into the middle. Did he scout with an SCV, by the way? He was able to scout an SCV.
He saw the main a little bit, but man,
that was only one base.
This is a
so
great read if he knows this is coming.
He knows there's just something slightly walking in. Oh, the Liberator! The Liberator's gonna scout it!
Oh, before the Robo facility finishes the Warp Prism. Looks like he's just gonna keep going, though.
Liberator keeps on heading out.
Might need this Liberator to defend. Oh, turning around. Looks like he just noticed it. Oh,
and he's gonna be able to shut
warp
some
in.
stuff.
He's got to be careful here. Oh no!
The Warp Prism's gonna give high ground vision. The Stalkers are gonna be able to pursue a little while longer to shut down. Cyclone is out of position, so is the rest of the army, and they're gonna try to focus it down. And maybe there's not quite enough army to face this bio. There's not Adepts. Come on, Arthur, make the Adepts. The APM can be this high. I would believe in you. APM way too low in this situation. But it's a siege tank now from Seither. He knows he just needs to push Arthur back from his main.
Allow him to get the siege tank set up. Liberator is gonna get some more time to come out as well, and the bunker too.
Beautiful.
This amount of time is. He's locked on. He's locked onto the Immortal. Can he keep it in lock-on range and finish it off?
And he gets it! Right as it dies, too.
Not exactly what he wanted, but he's got this tank. It's going to help him a lot. The Liberator as well is going to help him hold this position. And keep in mind, Arthur has committed a lot to this attack, but he's already dealt enough damage. He's already at an economic lead compared to his opponents as far as worker count is concerned, and he's continuing to push forward.
And with a second tank out and a Liberator, there's just huge swaths of land in the main base of Seither that Arthur cannot touch. When the Liberator's out and you only got 2 Stalkers left, at least not in the Warp Prism, you have a very bad time with the Warp Prism and the Microing.
Liberator just like straight up right on top of the tanks, like, do not touch my tanks.
I dare you to blink me. I dare you.
Yeah, go ahead, finish that shade directly under my tank. See what happens.
I really like the Sentry a part of this attack, and we've seen this in the previous Arthur games of throwing in a Sentry. Whether or not you can force field down in a Terran Sim City and shut a Cyclone down, or anything else, maybe force field off a ramp. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. This is going to push Arthur back, but just to note, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner of the minimap, Arthur is no natural. No natural at all. This is 150% all-in if he can't do damage. And Arthur, Seither, has a CC in his main already.
Yep, having the CC in the main is really good. One of the advantages that you have as a Terran player in this beautiful asymmetric game. We do have the Twilight Council and this Observer moving in over here. He's going to check out the defenses and look for a hole, see if he can crack through here. If not, he could just go ahead and... Ooh, nice scan, gets rid of the Observer. He could just go ahead and try and hold this low ground while he takes his own expansion. Keeping a close eye here on that production tab to see how he wants to continue. So far, no more probes being built.
Yeah, he's going to be able to deny this base for a little while, maybe even throw down a pylon at the natural base to delay the CC even longer, but Seither, he's now adding on more production. He feels safe getting on out of this. And the Warp Prism only getting away with 20-odd health, it's not going to make another round into the main. And for now, yeah, Arthur is going to try to deny this. But like you were saying, does he take a natural? What is he doing back at home? Ooh, we saw a photon overcharge from Arthur. Not sure why he did that back at home. Didn't see anything come out right there. But Raven is next for Seither, just to make sure he's rounded himself completely off. You know, where do you go from here? Maybe some DTs, but no, I won't let you. And Blink is on the way. But there seems to be an overwhelming force for Seither.
Yeah, Seither is looking really nice here. Arthur wasn't able to get quite enough damage in, but supply lead currently going to Arthur. So this is the moment. He's making himself a little weak by moving out here. Can he get something done?
Oh, he may be able to snipe this CC if he's really careful.
Just out of range.
Siege tanks. And the second siege tank is on the high ground right now. It's going to be forced to reposition. Same thing as the Liberator. There's a lot of Stalkers and potentially even a Guardian Shield. It'd be disastrous, but Seither pushes his entire force just a few inches forward. But now you have the issue of the entire force is in the natural, not in the main, and Blink is going to be done soon.
You've got so many Stalkers here. Some Adepts too. Maybe the Adepts come in one angle, the Stalkers at another. And I don't think he's seeing this coming yet. Blink is not done.
Blink. He's so close to being able to blink those snipes. AC Shank is going to put the Shank in the natural.
Raven. Oh my god, almost getting the Raven with the Stalker there. He does still have the Warp Prism for high ground vision, but not quite as good as having the Cloaked Observer, although the Raven does negate that to a certain extent.
And the Liberator's only in the natural right now. There is one in the main, but none of them are unliberated. They're shutting down certain zones. So at the moment, they will not be able to push back this Warp Prism. The entire army of Arthur is going to get in the main. And still got to remember, this is the 8-minute 50 mark. It's almost 9 minutes. There's no natural at all for Arthur. This is it, and he's going ham on it. And there's almost no defense in the main base. A couple of Marauders are going to be here, but a force field potentially right now could be disastrous for Seither if Arthur chooses to do so. But it's going to be a Guardian Shield, which will negate 2 shots off of all of his bio, and there's just not enough right here. It is 48 army supply of Arthur to the 35 of Seither. Reinforcing the main base to move. The SCVs are going to be blown up. There's only 14 of them, and the siege tank will be able to do some damage, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. There's just no bio to complement the siege tanks, Jack.
Very hard to cover so many areas, but he's beginning to do a pretty good job of zoning out these units. And more importantly, am I a robot right now?
Oh, you're back. Literally right as you started talking, you came back, so it was perfect.
Fantastic. That was the plan. Plan successful.
Stem is just about to finish up, but there's just not that much bile here. Yes, there's 14 Marines, but against 18 Stalkers. It's looking a little bit gloomy for Seither. It is 1-1. The winner of this will move on to play rough. The natural base is being moved out of position for Seither, and it already took damage a little bit early on, but wasn't healed, so Arthur will be able to snipe it. Bio is skimming out. Will it be enough? The Widowmines aren't going to be able to burrow down. Nothing is happening. There's just too much Stalker.
Such a difficult situation to try and cover this whole area, and now he's down to 1 tank, 1 Liberator. Those are really those power units that he needs to be able to, and just barely getting the kill over here.
Nice force field.
Just in range to kill off those mines. Excellently done.
Medevacs pull back onto the high
Liberator
ground
as well.
It's not good. There's the Mannerme old GG. Arthur 2-1 moves on to play rough, while Seither will play, I believe it is Penguin in the losers match.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.